That's right. We're live. We are live. Yo. Get out of here. My son, this kid is doing too much. You can tell by my eyes he's doing too much. Doing too much. I come from a land down under. Come on, man. Go get your toys and get out of here. You like Mauricio Suleiman. You just want camera time, yo. You like Diddy. Hey, what's good, George? What's goody Counterpunch? Some random boxing talks. I was going to prepare another video, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just freestyle it. All right? Very great live yesterday with Heather Hardy. That was my favorite interview I ever did. I noticed that a lot of you didn't agree with a good amount of what she said, but it was still good content. And that's what it's all about. Having the conversation. Hustle, what's good? Tyrone, what's good? Papa God, what's good? Dragon Sakib, what's good? Warp Speed, what's good? I can't see what that says. Sour Diesel, Dower Cecil. Well, I'll be doing that. Take the first letter out, switch it. I'll be doing that. Appreciate that, Unrivaled. Appreciate that, Marcos. It's not Mark no more. It's Marcos. Tyrone Virtuoso. Yeah, but Rick Ramos, he left a comment under that video, and I want to get him on because he has an opposing view to what Heather said. He has the exact opposite to say about everything that she said in reference to everything that we was talking about. So I'm gonna see if I could get him on this week, one of these days, and that's gonna be a lot of fun, man, having that conversation. Hey, what's goody Jerome? What's goody him? What's goody Jed? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, just having that conversation. But I maintain my original position that I feel that the problem is the promoters in this country. That's what I think the problem is. The promoters in this country, the networks in this country, if they don't want to showcase the top American talent in this part of the world, if they don't, then who will? What's goody, Sophie? What's goody, Jed? What's goody, WMMA scene? What's goody, yeah, I said what up. Does Errol talk slow to you? Errol never talked fast, bro. Like, I know a lot of people is saying this and that about how he talked, but his teeth is different. Like, you can see it. His teeth, he got veneers, so he talking at the same speed. It's just he looked like he got a gum shield on all the time. That's not funny. That's not funny, yo, but you know what I mean? He looked like he got a gum shield. Hey, what's good, Vladdy? What's goody, George? Leo, SSB. He don't sound all that different to me, but one story that caught my attention is I heard Bob Arum said that Devin Haney has to earn a Teofimo Lopez fight. I'm like, don't start this bullshit. Please don't start this crap about how he has to earn the fight. Just make the goddamn fight, dog, all right? If Teofimo Lopez is staying at 135, just make the goddamn fight. That's it. Stop with this earn. He got to earn. That's how a 54-year-old Mike Tyson and a 51-year-old Roy Jones Jr. is upstaging young fighters because of that type of stuff. Give people the fights that they want to see, the fights that they talk about on social media, and watch the numbers shoot up like a goddamn heroin addict. Watch. Make the fights that you see people talk about on social media, right? Like Lopez versus Haney, and watch the fight shoot up like a heroin addict. Simple. They acting like Canelo versus Golovkin was 10 years ago. That wasn't 10 years ago. That wasn't even 5 years ago. That was 3 years ago. Both of those pay-per-views did 1 million pay-per-view buys, right? Because when you make the fights that fans want to see, the ones that they actually asking you for, then the numbers come in. But if you keep trying to substitute it with these wet fart fights and these FS1 fights, ain't nobody trying to see that. Big Kurt. Let me put a link in here for people that want to join the conversation. But yeah, yo, it ain't rocket science. The problem is that boxing has become political over the years. Like, it's always been politics in boxing, don't get me wrong. But it's become overly political, and it has to do with the network relationships as affiliates. That's what makes it political. That they start looking out for the network instead of, looking out for the sport. Make the goddamn fight. This super chat was brought to you by, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine, bro. That's fine. I ain't mad Danny lost, man. You win some, you lose some, because you about to lose New Year's Eve. So I'll take it. I will take it. I will take it. You got a FS1 fight going down this weekend because that's what it is. It's a FS1 fight. And I understand that Errol needs a tune-up. I'm for him having a tune-up. But don't try to sell me Danny Garcia like he's more than a tune-up. Nah, he's a tune-up, bro. He been at this weight 6 years, right? He has, every time he stepped up, he lost. The only wins he has at welterweight are guys who are really not welterweights. All right, this is a tune-up fight. It's a tune-up fight. If he in tip-top goddamn shape, then make the Crawford fight. If he in tip-top shape the way y'all say he is. All right, CPN Boxing. Unrivaled. All right, what's goody with y'all?
Hey, yo, what's poppin'?
Ain't nothing. Chilling. It's a tuna fish fight, bro. I'm not mad that he needs a tune-up. I believe he should have a tune-up.
It's a pretty good tune-up.
Who got a background? Who got like 2 tabs open?
It's never me. See? It's not me.
Yeah, like I'm not against him having a tune-up fight. Why would I be against that? If he need a tune-up, by all means, have your tune-up. You know what I mean? I ain't against that. But don't try to sell me a tune-up fight for $80. That's my problem. I'm paying $80 for that. Like, I'm literally, and I'm working that night, so I really ain't paying it. If I was going to stay home, then I would maybe buy it. But I'm actually working that night, so I'm going to watch it, but I ain't going. Sorry. I ain't pay for this shit. Sorry. Virtuoso. I was goody Virtuoso. Yo, you buying that Spence fight?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm not buying that Spence fight. I need to look at the undercard, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to be disappointed by. But yeah, it's a tune-up fight for me. So.
Yo, bro, I seen what's on the undercard, and I already forgot what it is. If that makes sense to you, I seen what's on the undercard, and I forgot it. That's bad, dog.
That's bad for boxing.
That's bad. Like I literally went to the shit to see what's on the undercard. I looked, and I forgot. Like, the fuck that. Fuck that fucking shit. I'm not buying that shit, man. I told you I'm boycotting PBC till they start making what I asked for. I'm not buying none of that shit. None of it.
Did you see that there might be U.S. rights for Tanaka Ioka?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think Top Rank might pick that up because what's this Japanese guy's name, man? But the Honorable.
It's Loeffler who's heading it. It's looking like it might be going to the zone.
Oh shit, even better. Shit, I thought ESPN Plus might pick that shit up because I forget this Japanese guy's name, man. He's like the dude over there. What the fuck is it? What the fuck is his name, man?
You see, Loeffler's the last connect. I don't know why it's better, but it's better. I'd say probably internationally if it goes to the zone because the zone can spread it to many more countries that way.
That's what I meant. That if it's in the zone, you know that the fight and the weight class is going to get that much more exposure, at least for those that want to see it in different countries, because well, they have a bigger market than just ESPN Plus. Akihiko Honda, thank you, Napoli. I'm getting fucking old, man. I forgot his name.
You see, I'd probably be able to watch it because I've got DAZN now in Ireland. So DAZN could probably spread it here and into the UK. So people all around. How many countries is DAZN in?
Currently 9, I believe. 9.
Well, it's gone to Ireland, the UK, and stuff, isn't it? Like expanding into 200. Like I have it now.
I thought you meant right now because I'm not sure if they expanded yet. I thought you meant right now. When they expand, it's 200 plus.
Ireland only became available the other day, so I'm assuming they've expanded.
That's what's up. Yo, DAZN is spreading their tentacles around the world so we can choke the shit out of everybody. Battle. What the fuck? Battle. Joyce wasn't winning that fight, Battle. I just want you to know that. He wasn't winning that fight. Yo, who sweeping their carpet?
Virtuoso was.
Sorry, just adjusting my microphone.
Hey, yo, Julius. I ain't letting you off the hook. That super chat that came from me came from Joe Joyce. I want you to thank Joe Joyce.
Yo, Joe, listen, man. Somebody's gonna punch your eyebrows off. It wasn't Daniel this time. That's fine. Somebody gonna get you, Joe. Right, Joe? But I respect what he did for his mother. I forgot about that. That Daniel said that slick shit about his mom. That was uncalled for. I like that his mom.
Mm-hmm.
His mom was like this, B. That was fucked up, but like you deserve that for what you said, though. That's fucking karma, bro. That you said something about her eye, and then her son breaks your eye, and you have nerve damage. That's karma.
That's literally an eye for an eye.
It might not be a coincidence.
That might not be
at all. Like he might have just planned it the whole time. We might have never knew. Like he was actually like studying the trajectory of what punch to throw to mess up his eye.
Like, he's a smart guy.
He had a dry erase board doing math problems on that shit. Like if I punch him like this, then the mass times the velocity will break his eye. I mean, you practice that shit all night. Bang, bang, bang.
Hey, Ring Kid, you ever read one of those super old like boxing handbooks? They be like how to box, and they be like in black and white. Like you ever seen the one when there's like it's called like a corkscrew punch where like this dude invented a punch where if you throw your jab and you literally turn it completely on his head, like you will rip their skin to shreds or something like that. Like it's called like a corkscrew punch. Like I think he took one of those old manuals and just like applied it. Like every time you do the punch.
That's how you throw a jab though. These days, everybody does that. That I know.
Well, okay, so you know how like when you throw a punch, like usually they tell you to throw it like palm, like where your palm is like reaching the floor, right? Like your palm is like facing the floor. Basically, the way they was taught in this old book, you throw it, but you twist it completely. Like it's almost like your palm is facing like completely away from your right side. So you turn it completely over, and like I think he read one of those old like boxing handbooks.
Either that or he just fucking spazzed out once he got. I mean, really, he ain't spazzed out. Like, look, man, I know you don't want to hear it, Battle, but your boy really was on his way to losing that fight, dog. And this dude's eye just gave out.
That's not true. That's not. That's
bro,
not. Bro, like,
we gonna do this? You know what the judge?
Bro, like, bro. Okay, so we did a poll.
No, wait. You could debate my scorecard versus yours. That you can debate, but we can't debate how the fucking judges had it. We can't debate that. That's what they had.
But them judges be tripping sometimes, though.
Yo, quick question. What's closer to happening? Daniel winning that fight or Daniel retiring after
that? Boy, it's too early to say now.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't know that. Like, maybe he bounced back, maybe he don't. It's too soon. Like, I'll say that's a bad injury to have this early, though. That is
23 years of age with nerve damage in your eye and a fucking orbital bone completely smashed. That's really bad, bro. Really bad.
That's bad. Like, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he retired. It wouldn't surprise me. Shit, Frankie Gomez. Was it Frankie Gomez that just decided, fuck this, I'm not boxing no more? And he didn't have an eye injury. He just said, fuck this shit. And got up out of here.
Plus, he's gonna. The other part of it is the thick skin level. I mean, he's gonna be getting a lot of berating. Like, let's be real, he is. He's gonna get called a quitter, no heart, a hype job, a fraud, a phony.
Well,
all
the
this.
thing is that with that, right? Boxing fans are fickle and it works both ways.
They're ruthless.
He's one win away. He's one win away. He's always one win away from making people forget all of that shit. He's always one win away from doing that because for all the shit that Roberto Duran got for the no mas, he gave Marvin a good fight, didn't he? He ain't quit on Marvin, right? So I ain't worried about what people saying so much as it's the physicality. Like, that motherfucker broke the bones in your eye, bro. How you going? You need a new trainer because from now on you got to protect that eye. From now on, and really, it shouldn't have got to the point to where you cannot find your way around this man's jab because he don't even move that fast. It wasn't no snap on his jab. You just wasn't moving your head, bro. It wasn't no snap.
Oh yeah. I found something out about his trainer, right? I found something out about his trainer. So apparently, you know the way some people were saying maybe it's just Daniel with the lack of head movement himself and not the trainer, right? Because Denzel Bentley has head movement and lateral movement. Even though that's Denzel Bentley's trainer in the ring on night, he's been training with his amateur trainer the entire time for all of his camps. He's been working with him, the guy who brought him through the amateurs. That's according to Spencer Ferrin, who just be up in that gym all the time.
That explains a lot.
That really does explain things.
I mean, like, if you watch the shit, and really, I ain't going to act like he was just, it wasn't even the whole fight that he was eating jabs, because it actually wasn't. If you watch the beginning, he was all right, but it was mostly because he was shooting his own jab. And it was as the fight progressed from the mid to the rounds right before he gave up or whatever, that he started eating jabs. And I'm like, well, that must be exhaustion setting in because he's literally not moving his head at all. Like, he's not moving it at all.
There was something else that people didn't actually see. I didn't really see it until I was like rescoring properly, and I was looking at everything in slow-mo. Joe was turning a lot of his jabs when they were close up into hooks, little short hooks, and they were landing very hard too. So he wasn't just taking clean jabs, he was taking clean hooks too.
I mean, yeah, but you ain't gonna sell me that dream that Joyce was up on the cards. That's all I'm saying. You ain't gonna sell me that one.
But I can tell you in slow-mo that he actually landed more power shots in the fight.
Yeah. Now this.
But not on the scorecards.
What I know is that when the judges watched the fight, it wasn't in slow-mo. So I'm going off of what they saw and what that meant at the time that he gave up. And that means that this kid was close to winning the fight, but he just couldn't go on. But he was close because he was up. It's just he couldn't take no more, which, like I always say, it's fine. It ain't my goddamn eye getting punched, so I ain't gonna judge you.
I agree with half your philosophy on the scoring. Like Frank wanted Daniel to win. That's the philosophy I agree with.
That's my whole thing. That whether you believe that the judges had it right or you believe that Frank paid the judges, it means the same goddamn thing. He was 2 rounds away from perhaps winning the fight. But he couldn't go on, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
It could be that Frank paid the judges. I don't rule that out. This is boxing, bro. This ain't, like, come on, dog. Like, crazier things have happened. But I'm saying that by hook or by crook, he was 2 rounds away from winning a fight.
That man got beat by a dude with pajamas on, man. Ironic, man. The irony.
Bruh, he went home and ate cake and played Civilization, Joe. Civilization. I was like, yo, Joe is wild. Like, you really just broke that man's eye and you gonna go play video games?
I gotta respect that, bro. I actually gotta respect that.
Man, if they have a rematch, he should fight him butt naked. No.
Do you know what my favorite quote over the weekend was? It was someone got a severe echo.
Yeah. No,
I
I
think that's
don't.
CPN. I think that's
Yeah, I
CPN.
think it's CPN. Your mic's all over the place, bro.
All right, let me just editorial. I'm gonna let CPN situate himself. I think he's using headphones or something because his sound is just so off.
My favorite quote from the entire weekend was on IFL with they were interviewing Joyce, and this was after Joyce had already found out fracture and nerve damage. And he said, "I hope his eye is okay, and that he put some ice on it and stuff." Bro, I'm sorry, bro, but fuck hell.
Ice is not gonna help that.
Nah, nah. But you know what? You can't bring up somebody's mother, right? And like that, like you really can't do that. And then like you actually talk about something real that she going through, and like yo, it's like kismet, bro. It's like karma. Like yo, you really had it coming, huh? The universe just said, yo, fuck you, yo. You gonna pay for that shit.
So you said you think AJ was gonna punish Big Pharmacy?
What happened?
You think AJ was gonna punish Big Pharmacy?
Do I think AJ was gonna what?
Punish Big Pharmacy?
Smash him?
Yeah, because he talked about it. Yeah, he talked about his mother, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, wait. You saying that I thought that AJ was going to smash Jarrell Miller?
Yeah,
well, try and punish him because of what he was saying about.
Yeah, I mean, like you can't be talking about people's mothers, man. That's like talking about people's kids, bro. Like somebody will murk you out here. Just don't do that. Like, yo, you want to fight. Don't talk about family members though. Like you taking it to a way another place. Now look, you was talking. This is a lesson in a bottle. You was talking about his mother. You was talking about her eyeball. Now your eyeball is messed up. That like, bro, like, yo, you really? The universe was just like, yo, fuck you for that.
Yeah, that's literally an eye for an eye.
Man,
oh my god,
that's fucked up, dog. Couldn't have been me.
We was backstage and we was having an argument of which of these boxers trying to be great today, like which fighters actually going. Yeah. And that those are the names we came up with. We came up with AJ. We came up with Usyk. We came up with Teofimo. In one fight, I didn't actually name because you went live, so I actually came off there. One fight I actually thought that was trying to be great, despite how crazy it might sound, was Adrian Broner, but he never amounted to it.
Come on, dog. Come on with that. Come on.
What you mean? The dude for everybody. Okay.
Look. This is why I say that, right? You go through 4 weight classes. You're not gonna tell me that in those 4 weight classes you constantly fought for vacant titles and that wasn't on purpose. It had to be on purpose, right? So you really, before you say anything, if you constantly looking for vacant titles, that's telling me that like, yo, you really don't want to fight the guy or the guys that's here. You just want to be able to say, y'all's a champion over here, but you didn't want to fight none of the guys that was there. That's what that means. So
the thing about it is with him moving up and down the weight and him having like the 2-weight jump and then having the weight issues, I legitimately think he was trying to make himself at what 147. He just lost. He just ended up taking back-to-back losses. He fought.
That's not what you said. You said he was trying to be great. Like, nah, no, you're not. Like, and I'm not knocking him. I don't think it's easy, right? Like, look, I'm gonna just say this: when you talking about, oh, the person wants to be great, you know what it looked like. Like, it's a female fighter, Daniela Bermudez, right? She went up just for one fucking fight, just because it was a unification match, and she fought the actual champion at that weight, and she only went up for that fight, beat her, went back down. Now she's about to go back up again. That's being great. They're like, yo, I'm not just going to win a title of opportunity. I actually want to fight this person, like this champion. If you talking about somebody picking up belts that ain't nobody holding, I ain't trying to make it sound easy, but you tell me it's easier than having to fight somebody, ain't it?
You know who's trying to be great?
Isn't that just the equivalent of? Go ahead.
So I know somebody who's trying to be great. Kosei Tanaka.
Yeah. He is.
Man, I know why you brought him to get up.
No. I always shit on him. But straight up, he's actually trying to be great. You don't go up straight into a fourth weight class to fight against one of the best fighters in the world, pound for pound. You don't just do that.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, he could have went up there and fought Joe Tomato Can. He fighting Ioka. Like, that's like, oh shit, really? You want to fight it? All right, motherfucker. All right. Shit.
Yeah.
But I was just saying, like, I just think it's been so many fighters this generation that moved up and they're supposed to be a 3-weight champion that left fights on the table. That's just been happening. Period.
No. See, now what you're doing is you're lowering the bar to fit the way you want it to sound. You talking about fighters that wanted to be great. It's not just, oh, I went up in weight and that's why I want. No. Teofimo did not move up in weight to fight Loma. But what made him great? He sought out a difficult fight that people didn't even think he could win. I didn't think he was going to win that fight, but he did. All right? The kid had 15 pro fights, right? Javante got more fights than him. Devin got more fights than him. I think Ryan got more fights than him. Teofimo only had like 15 fights. Like, why you want to fight Loma? You sure you want to do that? He want to be great. Like, yeah, fuck that shit. I want to do it.
Think of it like this. In his 14th fight, he beat a solid top 10 lightweight, right? Or in his 15th fight, he beat a solid top 10 lightweight, and who was a world champion in Richard Comey, who had close fights with former top tier lightweights in both Robert Easter and Shafikov, right? Who arguably won those fights, depending on who you ask. Comey won both of those fights, if you ask certain people. And he went in there and arguably had the performance of the year. And then in his next fight, he takes on, essentially, I'm going to call him the media darling, if that's fair to say, the media darling.
I think that's fair to say.
A two-time two-weight Olympic gold medalist and a 3-weight world champion, unified. The ring, and he fought him in a fight, whether it's for undisputed or not. It was between the number 1 and number 2, according to all media in the division, which was for lineal. So he's now the effective lineal champion.
Like it's not like, oh well, you wanted to be great because you went up a bunch of weight classes. Not if you ain't fought nobody in them weight classes, then nah, you was just, I'm not. Once again, it's not that it's easy. It's not. But don't confuse opportunity with he wanted to be great, bro. If you wanted to be great, you would have cleaned them motherfuckers out. You picked up a belt. That's like saying Terry Flanagan wanted to be great when he went up to 140. Come on now. Come on. Like, I ain't mad at him.
Wait a minute. Like, just the competition was just way too far in between just to kind of compare those two. But I'm just saying that it's just, how much are we rating the attempts? Like, because not everybody ends up becoming great in the end. So yeah, fighters lose. It's just a part of boxing. So I'm just saying, like, it's just a good attempts is what we can actually see. Like, one person that we can say that actually tried to fight the best and wasn't ducking one particular person. Like that's just. I guess
sometimes you gotta ask, are they chasing greatness or chasing the bag?
That's the other thing. They're like, and once again, I'm not trying to be the armchair critic, but whenever I've ever heard that vernacular used, that the person want to be great, it's because they were taking on a sizable risk that they didn't even need. Like, Usyk don't have to fucking be undisputed that fast going to everybody's backyard. He didn't have to do that, but he did because he want to be great.
And now,
yeah, that was actually the first person I brought up. I said Usyk.
Even at heavyweight, people are giving him shit for saying, "Oh, I want Joshua and Fury and all of this." I find it really refreshing to hear it, because when at the end of the Sky interview, they're like, "Do you want to be?" So the goal is to be a world heavyweight champion, and he said, "No, not world heavyweight champion, undisputed world heavyweight champion," and that's different. That's different. That's his mentality. If he wins or loses, it doesn't matter. That's his goal, his ambition. If he does it, fair play to him. If he doesn't, that's his goal.
Yeah. Do you think Canelo is trying to be great?
Yes. Easy answer. And y'all know I'm not a Canelo fan. Like, I'm not a fan. I'm not a hater. I just tell the truth. But
I'm not a fan of Canelo. I like what he does in the ring. Hate his politics, right? That's what I'm gonna say. a lot of people will criticize him, but I don't even think he needs to try and be great. I think he's kind of already etched himself kind of there.
Oh, but if you have to look at the situation, this is how I look at it. For all the armchair critics that say this and that about the Kovalev fight, right? If it's so fucking easy, why is Canelo the one that did it? If Kovalev is just a bitch ass, pushover, he old, all this whole shit, I think you go do it. Why you ain't go do it? Because it's so fucking easy, right? Now you ain't go do it. So be quiet. Because you ain't go, your favorite fighter ain't go do it. If it's fucking easy, then go do it. We heard for years, for example, about the infamous sparring story between Gennady Golovkin and Sergey Kovalev, and how Gennady dropped him with a body shot. Gennady, did you go up there to try to become a 2-division champion? To hit him with this special mythical body shot that we've been hearing about for 75 fucking years? No. No, you didn't. Canelo did.
Did he try to go up to 168 and do it?
No. What the fuck?
Did you see him go up and fight? Did you see him go up and fight Carl Froch?
No.
George, did you see him go up there and fight George Groves?
No.
James Tedell?
None of them.
Badu Jack?
No.
Andre Ward?
No.
Plenty of names. I'm not even trying to be funny. It's not like he couldn't have won any of those fights. It's not like he wasn't capable of beating George Groves or DeGale or Jack or anything. He could have.
The DeGale that was around the last couple of years, yeah, Triple G beat that guy. He actually could have won that fight. He could have won that fight.
But look at it like this. Before he vacated with Truax, right, when he was getting smacked up by Porky Medina and shit, right? If you think of that dude who fought against Truax and like then went on to fight Eubank, right? When he vacated the title because of his category, right? If he hadn't of, let's say just before Uzcategui and before Truax, if Golovkin went up and offered him a fight, he could have beaten him.
Yeah.
He could have beaten the dude who fought against Caleb Truax. He could have beat that dude. He could have beat the shit out of him.
Now, I'm going to say this because I think this disclaimer is important. I'm not going to knock nobody who's chasing a bag because, truth be told, I will murder everybody in this chat for the right price. So I'm not mad. Look, it's prize fighting. Let's be honest. Let's be adults. It's prize fighting, right? So you know that there's a lot of guys out there that they focus on the prize. They are. There's a lot of guys, but then you have those guys like Usyk. Usyk, to be like Usyk, right, or to be like Anthony Joshua, or to be like Andre Ward, or Katie Taylor, or Clarissa Shields. That's a different mindset than just a prize fighter because they are used to high-level shit and excellent shit. It's not enough for them to just get the bag. Katie could have stayed there with one belt and got the bag. She wanted all them shits. Clarissa, she could have did that too, but she wanted all them shits. Even if they was vacant, you got to give her the props. They're like, Nash, if it was a girl there that was there for her to fight, yeah, she'd have tried to fight their ass. She would have tried to get it. But, it's just like I said in a video I did that. Them weight classes, it ain't a lot of girls in there to fight. But the long and the short of it is they got a different mentality than the average prize fighter. They want shit to be excellent. Usyk he didn't need to go up to heavyweight that fast. He could have sat there a little while, maybe 2 years, reigned.
To be honest, if he wanted to, and this is just being honest, he could have stayed, reigned as undisputed champion, made 6, 7, 8 defenses, retired, and been labeled the greatest cruiserweight of all time. Without any questions, no shadow of doubts, enter the Hall of Fame, the greatest in the division's history. That would have been a game over, and he's gone up to fucking heavyweight to try and do something that only one man has done before.
Yep. Holyfield, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, David Haye was a unified champion and went up and became a world heavyweight champion. And at the time, you could count the regular because, let's be real, there wasn't a super status, really at the time, fully in the heavyweight division. But he wasn't an undisputed. He's going up to he wants to try and emulate what Holyfield did, be a two-way cruiser and heavyweight undisputed. And no one's ever done it other than him.
And the shit is just a lot harder to do.
Was Holyfield undisputed with 4 belts or 3?
3.
3.
Usyk's the only 4-belt. Usyk's the only 4-belt cruiserweight world champion.
Yeah.
And there's never been an undisputed. There's never been a 4-belt undisputed heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
I think Riddick Bowe was, wasn't he?
No.
Nah, he
Oh,
wasn't.
okay.
He wasn't.
The
Oh, yeah,
WBO wasn't around at that time, was it?
Lennox didn't have the WBO, I believe it was. He didn't have that one. He had the IBF. He had the WBC.
WBO wasn't recognized at the time, anyway.
Yeah.
So if Usyk becomes undisputed, he would make his own history because he would be the first guy to be undisputed with 4 belts.
Yeah, he would make his own thing, but at the same point, whilst it's 4 belt, I don't really separate it from 3 belt all that much. To be honest, I think it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, but I mean, he'd make history.
I mean, Hopkins made history for doing that, didn't he?
What, 4 belt?
First,
No. I don't. No, was he the 4 belt era?
Yeah, Bernard Hopkins is the first 4 belt undisputed champion.
But yeah, man, like it's a different mentality. It's the mentality that they got is the mentality that a Crawford has, and you can see that shit. But they're like, they ain't just in it for the bag. They also want the prestige and the legacy and all that shit. Like they want it all, and I'm not going to knock the fighters that ain't. I ain't going to say nothing bad, but every fighter ain't like that. Like, nah, not all of them is like that. Some of them is cool and like, man, as long as I get that bag, I'm good money.
People in the chat are asking
about
people in the chat are just asking about the 3 belt and 4 belt. In 2004, the IBF recognized the WBO. 2005, the WBA recognized them. And then 2006, the WBC did. So the WBO wasn't officially fully recognized by the sanctioning bodies until 2006, 100%. So it couldn't be part of the undisputed legacy. Retrospectively, you can do that. Like a lot of people do retrospective stuff. So Oscar De La Hoya retrospectively is a 6-weight world champion.
I dig
that.
Yeah,
I was gonna say 2007, but I just wanted to wait until the correct answer came from Mark.
I think Ray Mercer held the WBO too. Now that I think about it, but it wasn't recognized at the time.
No, it wasn't. Like Francesco Damiani was a fucking WBO world champion, and Tommy Morrison was a WBO world champion.
You talking about the Italian dude?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. He beat what's the name in the amateurs? What's that boy name? The Cuban cat. Tilo or something?
Are you thinking of Teofilo Stevenson?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. He beat him in the amateurs. Whooped his butt. Y'all didn't see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, Italian dude, man. Diamante. I think he ended up losing to Ray Mercer. Yeah.
My kids get on my nerves because they stay trying to sneak in camera time. Like, why do you want to be on camera? No, I'm not going to show you the 3,000-4,000 people. I don't give a shit. My kids, man. Yeah, I love them, but
I got what you're saying, but like,
yeah, like they be trying, like they'll know that I'm live, and then they'll try to sneak in and like, yo, look, like, no, you're not gonna get no camera. I'm trying to show people you right. Like, get out of here, like. Shit get on my nerves. Like, man, stop trying to be like Diddy, man. Go to sleep, yo.
Trying to be influencers.
Yeah, like, yo.
I think they be looking at your channel, how much you be on. They think you got like the whole audience behind you. They be like, I want to be famous, like,
like Jake Paul,
or PewDiePie, or what's his name, Ninja, something like that.
That Tarver shit is some corny ass shit. It is.
I will ask you a question.
Tarver won the fight.
I will ask you a question, right? It's corny. It's bullshit, right? But how much money would you pay to watch a 52-year-old Antonio Tarver knock the shit out of Jake Paul?
What shit is this? Jake Paul don't bother me. You know why Jake don't bother me? Because he not doing no dumb shit. He just trying to fight people that's like him. So I'm not knocking him, like he just want to shoot his 5 with them. I ain't mad at that. Go ahead, Jake. Fuck their ass up. They on the same level as you, so fuck their ass up. I ain't mad at him. But
I just like them to be the same way as him, to be fair. That's all. Right.
Okay, let me ask you a big question, Ringaki. Do you have any problems with Amir Khan?
No, not really. I mean, okay. I'm mad he never fought Brooke. That's it.
All right. So, but here's the thing though. Wouldn't you be willing to see Khan in a fight with somebody like Crawford? It's a good chance he might get knocked out, but you still want to see it.
But like, I know. No, first off, right. I'm not like Khan was the lesser of two evils. I know the situation that Crawford was in. If you're gonna ask me what I want or what I wanted, Crawford versus Spence. That's what I wanted. I settled for everything else. What I wanted was two capable fighters that are good fighters to fight to determine who. That's what I want. That's what I want to see. I want to see an even playing field. I don't want to see no Mikey Garcia versus no Errol Spence. No, I don't want to see that shit. I don't. I don't want to see that shit. You understand? So when it comes to Jake Paul, who is he talking about fighting? Celebrities and shit? Yeah, go ahead, man. Shoot.
Well, he just called out Conor McGregor.
Because he knows that Conor's on the same level as him, more or less, as a boxer. Even though Conor will fuck around and beat him in the boxing ring, but that's another story.
Yeah, Conor will
outbox him. Like,
man.
Look,
yeah, Conor.
Even though we saw Floyd carry Conor, we did see Conor actually has some fucking skills. Like his jab's okay. He's able to
we had that convo. All right, we know how I feel about that. Man.
He's a slapper.
He is a slapper, but in comparison to Jake, bro, he's like. In comparison to Jake, it's like fucking Floyd Mayweather to Conor. He's a different level.
I think with Jake Paul, it's like less of a responsibility. So he's gonna load up. He's gonna really rail his punches at him.
Jake is not used to getting hit. Conor is. That's the difference. Jake is not.
Yeah, and if I slap you enough times,
like you're not used to that. So I mean, really, who punched you in your face? The little what he fought like a YouTuber or some shit like that?
Nissan Gibb.
Yeah,
no. He fought a Nissan Gibb. It was his brother who fought KSI.
An innocent Gibb, a basketball player that fight like a cat. Like he was doing this shit. I'm like, yo, this is not real. This is not real. No fucking.
But I'm like,
I was so mad.
We outside. If we outside the bar and it's getting wild, this you? Oh, like yo, that's fucking wild, yo. Like,
hey, you want to know what really
he went at him like Porter, but the technique, the footwork was off. It's like his upper body was way in front of his feet. Like he was like Annie, are you okay? Like Michael Jackson, Smooth Criminal. Like
look, listen, I seen he got backed into a corner. He tried to fight his way out the corner. He was doing this shit. Like that's the shit my sister used to do.
That wasn't the funniest thing. That wasn't the funniest thing. The funniest thing was when he tried to throw a head feint, right? And a head feint at the same time. And he headbutt his own hand. Because he ran forward doing it, and he went and he didn't slow his momentum. He threw a hand feint to get Jake, and then he threw a head feint to the left, and when he brought his hand back, he just clocked himself in the fucking head.
Hey, you want to know what's funny? Like the most mad I was, because I was super mad that we never got to see Chris Brown and Soulja Boy fight, because I don't know if you remember.
To that, yo,
I was so looking, bruh. You remember the footage? You know how Soulja Boy be talking crazy. He be like, "Man, Chris Brown, you better stop talking crazy. I'm gonna knock your behind out." So he posted like video of him trying to fight.
Oh wow! Right. Yeah, I saw that. That was brutal.
Yeah, that's a good question on the screen, man. That's a good question.
See, Breezy,
it was so funny.
See, Breezy was going to fuck him up. Julius, do you give Kosei Tanaka a considerable chance against? We can't even get to Naoya Inoue. You got to get past Ioka first, bro.
Yeah,
I can't get him against him. I ain't seen him against Ioka yet.
I'll actually answer it. Ioka and Tanaka would both get knocked out by Inoue.
I would say so. Yeah, I don't give.
They both will. I rate both of them. That dude's he's a different animal to them. He'd rip them to shreds to the body. He'd break their ribs.
Yeah, like
here's the thing though. Also, Unrivaled. I think Naoya Inoue is going to get to that place where. Here's the thing. I'm confident in his 12-round skills. He's done 12 rounds before, but I think he's going to get into that place where knockouts aren't going to come as quickly to him. So he's going to be fighting more people that's actually really giving him a good fight.
As he moves up in weight, we're talking about dudes coming up in weight who started at minimum weight.
I'm saying right now, because I think there's going to be a point where he's going to be fighting guys that's going to be actually showing crinkles in his game, and then people are going to pick up on that. Like, I don't think they're going to beat him. I just think it's going to be something that's going to start showing, because I think eventually around this time he's going to start showing some wrinkles, because like when he was fighting old boy Maloney, I was like he could have easily decapitated this dude by now, but he was like kind of showing wrinkles in his game. It's
No, hold on, wait. You forgetting. That's not a wrinkle, bro. That was ring rust. The dude hadn't fought in a year. Ring rust is not a wrinkle.
The other thing is, you also need to take into account the level of toughness of opponents. People like Maloney went into the 7th round. Think of the amount of hard punches Maloney had to actually get through just to make it there. He took a horrific beating, right? Before that, you're talking a dude who'd only ever been stopped by Nicholas Walters at featherweight, coming back down to bantamweight. Let's be real, one of the best pound for pound chins in boxing belongs to Nonito Donaire. No one can deny that. One of the best chins. Nonito should have actually been stopped in that fight. He reached the referee counted to 10, waited an extra 2 seconds, and let him continue on.
I gotta give
it. That was the fight. That was the fight when I was literally looking at myself, and I was like, "Don't get me wrong." Now you knew it really impressed me, even with that fight. Like, it wasn't a fight where I was just saying he was exposed. That's not what I was doing. I was just saying that people are seeing this now, and then they're going to start counting on that. Like, I think it's going to be some people that's going to be like this guy might have the skills right here, but I notice he doesn't like to fight inside. So what if I try to apply my game inside or only inside? Like, what if I decide?
This is the thing. That's a broad spectrum prediction, because that's like saying that unless Naoya Inoue retires undefeated, then my prediction was accurate. At some point, that man is going to lose. At some point, he's going to lose. Yeah. So that's no prediction at all. What I'm saying is based on these guys, Casemiro, you ain't going to do it.
It's not going to be at 118.
It ain't going to be at Casemiro. Who else? Who else is there?
The best chance around them. The best chance around him right now that can beat him is at 1-2-2, in my opinion, and that's Akhmadaliev.
Navarrete.
Navarrete.
Navarrete moved up to move up. He moved up.
He's the WBO world champion at 126. He'd be Ruben Villa for the title. He'd be Ruben Villa for the title. The vacant.
I totally forgot about that. See, that's a fight that I was legitimately be like, that's a fight that I would think he would lose. Like, because I think he said he wanted that fight. That's a fight I definitely think.
And I view that fight as a thing. Like Navarrete at 120. Like, stay away from him. That's dangerous, motherfucker. Like, I don't even now. I don't know that he knew he would have won that fight.
That was my first thought. But I still wanted him to take the challenge. So I was like, yeah, I want to see it. I want to see him take that challenge, because it would think about how great that fight would have been. Like, that would have been fireworks. Like, I honestly think that would have been fireworks.
I prefer the way that they doing it. Before I go hoe hopping and biting off more than I could chew, let me establish myself as the shit right here. And that's what he doing. I ain't mad at that. I'm not for the dumb shit. Like, I look at certain shit as being dumb. Brooke jumping up there for Golovkin, you a dummy. Khan jumping up there for Canelo, you a dummy. Rigo, you was desperate. It's hard for me to criticize. He was desperate. They froze him out already. He couldn't get any goddamn fights. So it's like, well, who else? Nobody else around here want to fight me. Might as well fight Loma. So, Mikey, you a dummy, because you actually stood a chance against Vasil Lomachenko. I honestly, hindsight being 2020, maybe he would have won that fight, but we'll never know, because you wanted to be a dummy. Go up there to fucking fight this motherfucker, and that shit show.
So, is there any reason that for smaller fighters to move up 2 weight classes anymore? Is it just like a lost dream?
I don't think it should be done for the safety of the fighter. I don't think it should be done. No, you shouldn't be jumping up 2 weight classes. Be real. The guys you see doing it, they not daring to be great. They doing it for a bag. That's what they're doing it for a bag. Yeah, he did it for. Look, Rigo. He did it for the Lomachenko bag.
No. I said the new way did it. He went from 108 to 115, and he beat Omar Narvaez.
I'll give him that. But all these other cats I just mentioned, they did it for the bag, bro. Brooke did it for the Golovkin bag. Khan did it for the Canelo bag. Rigo did it for the motherfucking Loma bag. Mikey did it for the Spence bag. They did it for the bag. They did it for the bond.
Arturo did it for the De La Hoya fight.
Yeah.
Do it for the Vine.
Do it for the Vine. Do it for the Vine, yo. And the Vine did it to them after that. Because they got their ass. Well, some of them got their ass beat. Mikey, he didn't get beat up too bad. That shit was just stupid. He kept going to his corner doing this shit after every round. Like, bro, you didn't win that round. What the fuck are you doing, bro?
Bro, he was so that makes me laugh.
Did you see the? Did you see the? I think Julio Cesar Chavez is a '90s fighter. Did you see the Julio Cesar Chavez and Hector Camacho fight?
Of course.
Yeah.
Bro, when I say that dude with Hector Camacho and his family was having a blast, that it would survive a round, I'm like, dude, you losing. Like, what are you doing?
That's the most they could do for him. Like, yo, just keep him up, cheer him on, yo. Like, moral support. Like,
bro, he was getting beat, bro. Like he was losing on all scorecards. And I was like, man, like you could do better than this, man. Like just actually fight the cat. But that's a whole nother story.
Well, you got to give it to Chavez, though. Yeah, it was a lot of this on his resume and a lot of that, but it was actually some real good fighters on his resume. Like I know he fought a lot of motherfucking rickshaw drivers and all of that, but they weren't all rickshaw drivers.
He's considered one of the great. I think he is considered the greatest 140-pounder to ever live.
Yeah, I guess that there's a lot right there.
He got 2 good wins over Roger Mayweather, who even when he lost that fight the first time, he went on another knockout streak before fighting him a second time. That's what Roger Mayweather did, and then he ended up fighting. Mel Taylor fight was controversial, but he ended up beating him. It's on his record now.
Yeah.
So the dude got some good wins at 140, man. Dude ain't no joke.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd call him the best 140-pounder ever, but yeah, he do.
Yeah, I think he has another signature win. I can't think of it right now.
That's a broad.
I think it'll take the Camacho.
That's a broad spectrum statement. That's why I can't just say he was. Like, wait, let's look at what else was at 140 a little while longer before we qualify that.
Yeah, I mean, I can give a name off head that, like, if you want to look through his 140-pound resume later, you could look at Barney Ross, and you can also look at Tony Canzoneri.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The thing that I think there's one fighter I had an argument. I had a fight with I was telling them the greatest 154-pounder is Terry, and they went all at me. They was getting on my head. They was talking about something that can't be true. Like he took too many losses, and I'm like, dude, like what are y'all talking about? Like losses.
154 is relatively young, right? So it came around in 63. Right? 63, first champion was Emil Griffith. After the WBC was officially recognized, they created the World Championship. Emil Griffith was the first one. You could argue Emil's there, but Terry Norris maybe actually does have the best 154 resume on paper. The most achievements.
I was telling them that. They was telling me about Tommy Hearns and Winky, and I was like, bro, they good. And I'm not taking them away from them. They still top 3. But they just not better than Norris.
I'll disagree. They're better fighters than Terry Norris, but they don't have better 154 resumes than Terry Norris.
Well, yeah, right, yeah. So like I'm trying to tell them like they too stuck on the losses, and I was like, all right, bro. Like I think the argument was like, if you great, then why did you get knocked out of your prime? I'm like, okay, well we're gonna do that.
But that's a bullshit. Like that's that. Come on now, that's a bullshit.
Yeah, they was cracking on because of the Julia Jackson loss, and I was like, bro, like that Julia Jackson.
What, man?
I'm like,
so what?
And I was like, if we're using that logic, then David Tua is greater than Mike Tyson because he never got knocked out in this prime.
Exactly.
That's a logic we're using we're here. So I was heated on that argument. I was like, bro, like y'all can't be serious.
I think that's a byproduct, and I hate to make it about Floyd, but I really do believe, because I'm a Floyd fan, you know that. But I do believe that that mentality that like you can never lose a fight, you can never like what the fuck, like what sport have you been watching, dog? It'll be a wonder if all of our favorite fighters, right, retire undefeated, because I'm pretty sure they are gonna lose at some point. I'll be surprised if they don't. They're gonna lose at some point. Still gonna be
probably. I think I think one of my favorite fighters might retire undefeated.
Who?
I think there's a possibility Tyson Fury will.
Maybe. I mean, that's possible.
It's certainly possible because
It's
if he
more
wins the AJ fight, he's
It's
not
He
more,
might
fighting again.
retire.
it's more possible with Tyson than I would say with Crawford, or more possible with Tyson than Inoue. You know that eventually them guys, they might move up one more time and somebody will get their ass. But with
Well,
Tyson, he one fight away from the glory. He's literally one fight away from, and he could, he could have a second engagement with Joshua. And if he wins, whatever. But yeah, I would say that if it was going to be somebody, Tyson seems plausible, more plausible than anybody else.
and what's the name? Like I think it was either you or Unrivaled who mentioned it. The thing about Tyson Fury, like we get on him about his title defenses, but the reason he will never rack up those title defenses, he might end up losing to somebody less than Anthony Joshua or Wilder because they're not going to motivate him to get out of the bed
I think
and fight.
both of us said that.
Yeah, he's
Well,
not motivated.
think about it like this. You think he would be getting into them McDermott's and them first, like the first Chisora fight was a barn burner. The first one was like Chisora was going for it.
Never mind that. Do you think he wants another Otto Wallin, bro?
Nah, hell no, dog. Hell no. Hell no.
Who's gonna bring him up, man? This dude. There's some people that are slept on that are just.
But I don't think Rick Glacier says some shit that chapped my ass. Like, bro, you high on for shit that he doing right now. Rick Glacier said that Tyson Fury would beat Mike Tyson. I'm like, nah, I don't think so, bro. I could see Mike getting him. I could see Mike getting him, dog. You got caught by Steve Cunningham.
Mike Tyson can beat a lot of heavyweights, man.
Hey. And it ain't knocking Steve Cunningham. He good too. It's just that, bro, if Steve found you and Dylan McDermott gave you problems, and Otto found you, and Wilder found you, why the fuck would Mike Tyson not find you? He had better coordination and better movement than all of them and power in both hands. He gonna find you, dog. Like, yeah, he would have found Tyson. Kidding me?
Even dog. Honestly, if you the worst part about it, if you ask Tyson who would win, he would probably just be like the best man will win. He's too honest for that, and he's too nice of a person. But honest to God, I think Mike Tyson will win like nine times out of 10, hands down. Like,
look,
so,
if I'm being honest, and I'm
wrong
not
style matchup for Fury.
If I'm being honest, I don't see none of these guys in this era, and that's not nostalgia goggles. Because, like, in a time, even though I favor Mike over Joe had a lot of fucking heart. He had a chin. Like, you got to kill that motherfucker to keep him down. But Joe give him a run for his money. Joe would.
So I'm glad you're not one of them people who thinks Vitaly Klitschko beat Mike Tyson, because I'm not one of them people.
No, I'm not one of them people. Look at what Corey.
I'm not either. I do think size has its advantages, right? But I think if you were to take any heavyweight over the last 10 years and throw them into the 70s or the 90s against all the killers who could have been competitive and had amazing fights, I think it'd actually be Povetkin.
Listen, man. Yeah. Him, and that's gonna sound weird to a lot of people. But yeah, you could take Povetkin and throw him in the 80s. He'll get knocked out a couple of times, but he'll
knock people out too.
Yeah, he knock people, like, he'll be a motherfucker.
Could you imagine fights between like
the 80s, like Carl Williams and Larry Holmes? Like, that's a hard one, man.
Yeah, I know, but don't forget, like, you've also got like Witherspoon, you've got Pinklin Thomas and Bone Crusher Smith and all those.
It's a good chance they knock him out too. Honestly, like,
he could knock them out too. These are from fights, pal.
Imagine Povetkin versus Cooper in a time machine, or Povetkin versus Morva. We ain't got to make it all about the ATP and other guys. It's mad other people that, he fuck around would have beat their ass. He could beat the Rebaltas of the world.
Could you imagine a fight between like Michael Tawks and Povetkin prime for prime? That shit be sick.
Ooh, that is a nice one. That one I can legitimately say that is a fun one. Or him against Mike Weaver. I don't know, like something like that.
Honest to God, I think that would be one of those fights where Povetkin would be looked at as one of the greatest fighters because he probably would have produced the best fights, even if he didn't win them. Well, they would have saw him as that way.
Povetkin is a pet cheat. We all have to acknowledge that. But it's just that aside, if we talking about him at his best in a time machine, I could see a lot of guys that he would beat. He'll get knocked out by the upper crust guys, but yeah, he'll beat a lot of motherfuckers, man. He underrated cat. Not for nothing.
He's probably in my opinion he's one of the most fundamentally sound heavyweights of this generation. It's not too many of those guys I see anymore.
Motherfucker, like he's sneaky, like he's explosive, and yeah, he's a pressure fighter, but he's not just like a plotter where I'm always gonna come forward and I'm always gonna do the same shit and I'm always trying to bury my head in your chest again. Now he not like that. Like that motherfucker's crafty. Like you gotta be careful with
He
him.
can fight above his height, which is such a big thing that fighters don't do anymore. Like you don't see short fighters fighting above their height at heavyweight anymore. It just doesn't happen.
The thing I learned about him when he fought Dillian White is just how subtle he was in his movements. Cause like he gets his opponents, like he lulls them into a sense of like of what you call it, of complacency, and then he just knocks you out, and then it changes the fight.
He sets you up for shit. Real subtle. He sets you up for shit. And like I said, he's a pet cheat, but a lot of motherfuckers like James Toney got popped. So if we're gonna go down that road where we gotta hate motherfuckers, hey, James Toney got popped. I don't see a lot of and I love James Toney.
I mean, but here's the thing. Didn't James Toney said that he had some material that he put on his skin and it got in the system?
Like everybody got a story, bro. You believe everybody's story?
Leo, listen.
But I could have sworn.
Hold on. I don't care. James Toney tested positive, right? He tested positive for PEDs. I don't care what star it was, but let me say something. I don't give a shit about it. I really don't. I couldn't give less of a fuck. And to be frank with you, I wish everybody was on PEDs, man.
Shit, I'm on PEDs.
I wish they were all on PEDs. Thing, I'm not joking, but you know the way a lot of fighters nowadays are like on lower different PEDs and different ones that don't have as extreme effects as the ones back then. Just because they're on lower amounts, so they're able to mask different shit and they use many different things, so it takes away little purposes and whatever. It makes me literally go, yo, I want them to be on whatever the fuck all those dudes were on. Because those dudes in the 70s and the 80s and the fucking 90s, they were on all types of shit. Let's bring it back.
Yeah, bring that shit back, man.
The whole thing about PEDs in sports is some more panic. Like, Julius, you watch baseball, right? Don't you think Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame already?
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck the PEDs. Fuck the PEDs.
Yeah, it's such a...
I'll ask you guys this question. I'll start with Julius. Julius, if a man and another man want to take all the juice in the world and knock the other one out of the arena, will you pay money to watch it?
Hell, motherfucking yeah.
But I think the thing is...
Hold on. To be fair, the thing is we say that now, but when we have those instances like Patrick Day, and them instances like Maxim Dadashev, then you start to ask yourself, yo, is motherfucker sick? Because I don't want to watch a motherfucker die. I just want to see a fight.
Can I say something, though?
Yeah.
Can I say something? That's at your own risk.
I dig that, but it's the humanity of the shit, bro. It's the humanity.
I have no opinion on
it. We're watching men brutalize each other, and
I don't want to see a motherfucker die for my entertainment. I'm good. Like, just give me a good fight, bro. Just try.
I've seen so many people end up either paralyzed or dead from this sport that I'm somewhat desensitized to it.
Nah, well, I'm not there yet. Where I want motherfuckers dying.
That's the thing that I'm talking about. It's a more panic of like, okay, we're gonna link steroids or human growth hormone to like instant death of of a boxer that takes place. Like the people die without the influence of PEDs, regardless. You can hit your head you can hit the back of your head.
Virtual. Yeah. You essentially saying that because motherfuckers is gonna die anyway. Why try? Why make this safe? Like, bro, staircases don't need handrails. Motherfuckers gonna die.
But bro, every sport
die anyway.
Every sport they should all be on PEDs, fam. Every sport.
The thing about it,
if a man wants to run 100 meters in 6.2 seconds when it's going to take me 9 seconds to watch it anyway, I say that.
I'm just saying that I don't want motherfuckers dying. I don't want.
They die anyway.
Yeah, but I don't want.
Hey man, the thing about it, like I think the thing is that people just equate all performance enhancing drugs. They don't do this
consciously, they do it subconsciously, is they equate it to steroids. And because we heard so many crazy stories of like steroids, or like the Chris Benoit situation, we assume that's bad. Like it's just crazy. So it's hard to distinguish
Yeah,
these
but Chris
things. That
Benoit is like that exceptionally crazy. Like, bro, you killed your family, bro. Like,
That
what?
wasn't roid rage. That was psycho.
Yeah,
He,
don't
he had
blame it on roids. Like, bro, you just a fucking whack job. Like,
I honestly
okay,
thought
I'll use another example. What about the bicycler? I forget
Lance
his name.
Armstrong.
Yeah, he wasn't they clowning on him for the longest time because they said he was like dude on steroids.
Fuck those dudes, man. They clowned on him, right, for the longest time, right? Because he was on all these PEDs. What about the other 1,273 cyclists that tested positive during the time that you didn't make scapegoats of?
I dig that, but
Yeah, it's because his
didn't
name.
actually get caught, bro. Lance didn't get caught.
Yeah, he was just a better cheater.
No, it's that he admitted. If he eventually admitted that he was on shit, but he never actually got caught. So I respect that. Like, yeah, man, I did it dirty, yo. Now you know. Now that I'm not.
Yeah, he beat this. He beat the system. It's like me coming to y'all neighborhood, and be like, hey, I robbed y'all at least once, but I got rid of that stuff now.
Yeah,
like,
like y'all know I robbed y'all, right? That was me.
But that's the thing. They did an entire inquest, right? And they were all on at that time, which just tells me, even though he was cheating, right, and they were all cheating, he was still that much better than them.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Carl
true.
Lewis. Yeah.
That's true. But look, man, ultimately, there's a push for safety. I'm not against it. I don't want to see fight because the other thing is that I don't want to see fighters end up brain damage. I really don't want to see that. So I don't want to see that. Like, I want them to be able to retire and at least be Andre Ward, Sugar Ray Leonard, good. Like, they can have a life after they retire. I don't want to see a bunch of motherfuckers on walkers shaking and shit. It's 90 degrees and they shaking like it's cold. Like, nah, I don't want to see that.
And you know what I think? I think a lot of boxers we just don't realize it's a lot of boxers that end up like Patricia Colon. We just don't hear about them. Like you remember that one chick who was I just spoke on this not too long ago. Maybe I spoke on it on here. The chick who was talking about Danny Dubois knocking out her husband or something. I forget. She was like the promoter for Dog Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And her husband ended up becoming like super abusive after he lost to Dane DeBar. He ended up like not remembering things and whatnot. Like it actually happens a lot more often than we say, but it's just they're not the most popular.
It happens like most people don't know. Amanda Serrano got one loss, right? It's to this Scandinavian, I believe, girl. That girl, the fight after that, she got punched so hard in the head, she had a brain bleed. She had to retire right after that. So it's like it does happen more often than people think. It does. But that's not the okay for me to say, yeah, man, I want to see boxers on stage. I want everybody on stage. Like, nah, man, if you can make it safer so they can have a fight, let them have a fight. You ain't got to be on steroids to have a fight. We ain't on steroids and motherfuckers, fights happen all the time. So, nah, I ain't with that. I don't want to see nobody die.
Nah, it became a long way from gladiator matches, man. We can do without those, man.
Yeah, like you might as well throw a goddamn tiger in the ring for that shit. Like, yo, look, y'all got a tiger.
I'll watch that shit too.
Extreme. I want to laugh
that
on.
too.
Okay,
I'll tell you this right now.
You gonna put who was the mountain in like a tiger?
It ain't gotta be a tiger. We'll put a ferret in the ring.
Listen, hold on. I'm
Roman Emperor Mark Anthony wants to see tigers and
I'm fully down.
Fight boxers.
I'm fully down for the first 10 rounds. These dudes are slugging it out, right? They're slugging it out. And then in the last 2 rounds, right? You put 2 badgers into the ring.
Oh my God.
Big money for that shit, bro.
Psycho, bro, that's some Epstein.
You can throw it in a Komodo dragon too.
That's some Epstein.
Komodo dragon. No, hold on.
I got a box, then we gonna put some raccoons and some ferrets in there, which y'all like. What kind of sick shit is that? Like, nah.
Hey, Ring IQ, you remember Sports Science, right?
Sports Science? Nah, I don't remember that.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, I do.
They tested a tiger's hit
against this guy. Like, can he actually hit as hard as the Tiger? The Tiger was playing. It basically pawed this ball. It did like 800 pounds of force in that one strike. I was like, Jesus Christ! Like you really want to go hit toe to toe with a Tiger? Like, nah, man.
Let's put it this way, right? A tiger that was like 6 months old, right? This is a disgusting story. Was put into like this hold fight with a fully grown lion, and it ripped the thing to shreds. But a tiger will essentially battle. If a tiger pounces on you, you're dead in a half a second.
Yeah, man.
Tigers are much bigger cats than lions. Yeah, that is true.
And they're much more powerful than people think. Way more. Like, to put it in perspective, as soon as it lands on you, right, and it will literally sink its teeth into you, and it will rip your head off the body.
Damn.
I can't believe
it could actually take this isn't even a joke. Let's take a metal fence, right? That's about 6 to 8 inches wide, right? It could take, if it got a hold of you, Julius, on the other side of that fence, it would rip your body through it. That's how strong it is.
The motherfuckers are strong, man.
Bro, I can't. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I can't believe me and my mom had this long argument. We was watching Animal Planet, and she told me the craziest thing I ever heard. She said she would rather get attacked by a lion than a hyena. I'm like, you've got to be joking. Like, that is just one thing.
I'm not joking when I say this. I'd rather be attacked by a lion than a honey badger.
Man,
oh no! Yeah, I don't know.
Let me explain why. If I stab a lion in the eye, it'll go away. If I shoot a honey badger, it'll keep coming.
Man, listen, man. How about
that's if you can get to the lions?
Fuck out the forest or the jungle or wherever you might, and just don't run into none of their ass. Like, bro, I don't need to be over here. That ain't nothing over here for me. Like, I don't need to be over.
So what if I said something like, Ring IQ, I got these tickets, man. You get a free ticket to Africa. You can go on a safari, man. Get there all day.
Listen, man. Unless I'm going to Africa with a magneto force field, it's all types of shit over there. It's a snake over there that causes hemorrhagic fever, where you bleed out your whole orifices, your nose, your ears, your eyes, your mouth, your ass, your pee hole. I'm good, bro. I don't need to go over there.
There's hold on. There's actually a type of venom. I can't remember which snake it is, but that actually turns your sweat into sperm.
Bro, I don't. Why the fuck would I want that to happen?
So when you're sweating, you're leaking all your testosterone. Your prostate swells and explodes.
Bro, I don't need that in my life.
Man, your Google history has got to be mad crazy, Mark.
Like, bro, I don't want my sweat turning into sperm, dog. Like, that's no. Why the fuck would I know? I don't need to be anywhere around where that happened.
Shoot.
I don't know why I remember that, and it's not from my Google search history. It's from National Geographic. Great channel.
Instead of having a magneto force field, have the Colossus power where you turn into steel. Like, ain't nobody biting me, man. You be crazy.
That bullshit, man. I'm staying like it's certain. Even though I want to go to Australia, which is very doable, I'm like, yo, everything over there is trying to fucking kill you, bro. Everything, bro. The spiders, the dingoes, the fucking didgeridoos and all of that. Like,
didgeridoo? You mean the instrument? You know what didgeridoo
okay. So I looked up this spider breed from Brazil. It's called Phonotrera. I don't know. I can't pronounce it, but it says bites from that spider are intensely painful and can cause priapism, a potentially harmful and painful erection that can last for many hours and lead to impotence, states an American Heart Association news release.
Bro, that's the erection. That's the erection.
Well, in Brazil, you know, it's like they fuck with aphrodisiacs, so you know.
I'll tell you what you should call that spider, though, the erectula.
Yes.
Man, y'all is crazy, man.
The girls are gonna have erectophobia.
Erectophobia.
Some wild shit out there, man. I don't want nothing to do with it, man. Fuck that.
Hey man,
Fighters giving you boners and shit now. Like, man, I seen this.
Hey, as long as we're sharing crazy information, did y'all know that when a dragonfly jizzes, right, it releases more sperm in terms of weight and volume than its percentage of body?
Listen, man, that's the only nut. So that means if a motherfucker 200 pounds, if a motherfucker 200 pounds, if he's dragon 400 pounds of jizz.
Pretty much it.
This is no longer a boxing channel anymore.
Could you imagine an orgasm like that, bro? Bro, I'd be fucked, bro. I'm like 250, 260. Bro. If that happened with me, bro, that'd be like 580 fucking. How many fucking ounces is that?
Bro, you can fill a little wading pool with jizz, bro. Like that's the only motherfucking nut. Like, motherfucker might die after that. Like, I'm good. I don't need to nut that.
And man, I was reading the comments and I thought the dude was like talking about our conversation. He just listen, guys. I'm out.
Cause motherfuckers over here talking about spider jizz and bro, like the fuck, like. Listen,
hey, but
listen,
apologies,
man,
losing viewers.
Back to boxing. Top Rank is starting with the bullshit that Devin got to earn the fight. No, he don't got to earn the fucking fight. Just had a fucking fight, bro. If Devin ain't shit, then show me that he ain't shit. I don't want to hear it. If he ain't shit, then show me. If y'all got to do all this, or he got to earn the fight, the fuck he got to earn the fight. You staying at 35, right? So fuck it. Fight him.
Hey, yo. Devin has what, one fight left on his DAZN deal, right?
Mm-hmm. No, it's over. They said the Gamboa fight was the last fight.
No, they said it was one more fight after Gamboa. That's what Bill said.
All right.
So it was, we have one more fight after this Gamboa. This is one of our last two. So they have one more fight there on DAZN, right? Now, as much as what Bob's saying is a whole lot of bullshit, don't hate me for predicting this or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably already are expecting this yourself, Julius. But I don't really give a fuck about it because I'm 100% sure Devin's going to the professional boxing committee of protecting fighters.
For 35, though, I mean, if he goes over there, remember, if you go over there, you're not gonna get no fights. Like, you're not. If you go over there, that's what's gonna happen. At 35, they don't got nothing except Javier.
Just watch the space. It ain't about that; it's about the bag.
You think he could get a bag over there?
I think he could get a bag. Yeah.
Man, listen, man.
God damn, what you know, ticket?
Let me put the link in the shit. Punch gonna keep saying that shit, but it's gonna come back to the same thing. It's gonna come back to the same thing, because beggars can't be choosy, and that's just life. That's not just boxing. That's life. Like, yo, they might fuck around and they don't get you to fight never because they got other girls that they could put her in there with. That's not you.
What about Amanda versus Katie? If Amanda beats Katie, she gets 500 grand. If she loses, she gets nothing.
That is so twisted.
No,
what could I say, bro? I've been talking about fucking snakes turning your sweat to sperm.
Bro, saying that, Punch, you saying that, and I understand where you coming from, and I also understand where she's coming from. The problem is that it's not your money. That's the thing. It's not your money. It's not my money. It's not Mark's money. That's
what did Heather Hardy say?
Well, she's basically saying that even the highest paid female fighter is still not getting paid enough. And I have mixed feelings about that because look at Chocolatito, right? Chocolatito, he campaigned to get the Estrada rematch to be $1 million for him and $1 million for Estrada. So it's not like every male fighter is getting paid more than every female fighter. He's an accomplished guy and he's not getting buku dollars. He not. Javier Fortuna. He was mentioned. Javier Fortuna just fought for $10,000. It's not like every guy is getting buku dollars. They actually not. If you paying attention, a lot of cats is not getting buku dollars. Katie Taylor got paid more than a lot of cats. Her last
Ugas,
it's
Ugas,
here's the thing.
Fortuna, and Chocolatito combined in the last 3 fights made less than
Here's the
Katie
thing.
did in her last fight.
Here's the thing. I think a lot of like I'll say female athletes don't really understand. I think when it comes to anything in life, because you have more men willing to take those chances as far as sports are concerned, you have really extreme cases. In almost every case, you have super extreme cases. You have the lowest of the lows, you have the highest of the highs. The richest boxer is a man. The poorest boxer is also a man. So it's
That's
huh?
true. That's a good point. No, that's a good point. That's a good
Yeah,
point.
so you have to understand that the extreme. Maybe I think the only case that doesn't apply is probably NBA. Maybe the NBA they're just going to get paid a lot more, despite what the WB NBA.
Look, I'm gonna just
But
say, look, if you look at the purses, right, for the Triller pay-per-view that was just on, right, look at the purses and try and understand that Katie Taylor was guaranteed more money than Badu Jack. That's a fact. That is a motherfucking finite fact. And I
how
would
much money
think
was she guaranteed?
Badu only got a couple $100,000.
Oh
That's all
boy.
he got. That's all he got. I wager, and I would go as far as saying, based on inside intel, of course, that some of Katie Taylor's opponents were paid more than Badu Jack was paid that night.
Here's another one, right? Male or female? There may only be 4 or 5 names in the UK, right, that make more on a fight-by-fight basis than Katie Taylor.
That's true. That's actually true. That's right. If you think about it, and we don't got to just keep using Katie because I'm pretty sure it applies to other of Matchroom's girls. The illusion is that every guy is getting paid more than every girl, and that's not necessarily true. There's guys out there that are fighting for 5 figures. There's guys there fighting for 5 figures.
It's going to be a lot of people that's going to push that though. You know like it's for female boxers to take so much slight. I think they're going to. It's something they're going to push. Yeah, even if we feel different, it's something they're really going to push. You know, probably Carissa Shields down the line too. One or the other.
Look, I'm gonna say I'm not against them getting the money, but I always go back to the same thing because I'm very good with money, and I know that the money has to come from somewhere. And where does money in boxing come from? It comes from the fans. So if you do right by these girls, and you can't be like Punch, and you just gonna ask for the next person money like they just supposed to give it to you. Nothing works like that. Nothing. But in boxing, if you want a money maker, you have to make an earnest investment in that fighter to promote them. That's what you have to do. Now, what's the problem here? The problem here in America is nobody really want to do that. They're doing it for other girls in other parts of the world. They're just not doing it for the girls here. That's the problem. So
you have to learn how to promote yourself as well. It's a big part.
No, I get that. But I agree with Heather's point and to Punch's point to some degree that the promoters these days, they don't want to promote. And these days, you really do have to have an imagination. Like it's not enough for you to just put them on and make them fight anymore. You got to try to sell them. You a promoter. If anybody's supposed to make them famous, it's you. Now, Eddie's doing that for his girls. He is. Terry doing good. You know, Savannah, she wowed a lot of people in her last fight. Katie, obviously, she getting money. So his girls is good money. But you can't expect him to do that for everybody because he ain't going to do it for everybody. And everybody ain't going to do it for everybody. Until American promoters really sit down and stop acting like a bunch of old dinosaurs, it's not going to change over here. It'll change everywhere else, but it won't change here. I'll tell you that motherfucking shit. It's really about how money. No, bro. Like you keep saying, you going back to the same thing. You the same dude that tried to say that a contract don't matter. Like, on what planet are you on with that, bro? On what planet are you on with that? You saying you could break a cut? Like, bro, I would not even do business with you ever behind that because it's like you breached the contract. What the hell am I gonna do business with you for? You breached. We already invested in you. We literally spent money on you that we not gonna get back. So I wouldn't even bother with you after that. I wouldn't.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a big thing. If you know how to put yourself out there and know how to be on these platforms, man, you can make yourself a way bigger fighter. You won't have to deal with the
so-called problem of just the networks or just demanding more fighter from a money. That fighter is going to be demanding more money from you. Instead, it's going to be the reverse.
Like
So
the look of it is that they saying that is how the funds are being allocated, that they could put up more money for this. Bro, you don't know that. You're not handling the finances. You don't know that. Why? Because it's not your money. It's not my money. It's their money. And you're not gonna tell me that you're gonna order them to take a risk with their money. Like, nah, because you wouldn't want nobody ordering you to take a risk with your money. Ultimately, what needs to happen that I see that is not happening is they're not being promoted the right. They not. They and it ain't right. And that needs to change. But I got the solution, and it's gonna come out in 2021.
I just think they lack confidence in promoting these fighters.
Yeah, that's why I say you got to put your. It's good you say that, Richard. That's why I say you got to. As far as when you're a new fighter, yeah, sign to a promoter. Like, I mean, don't expect the most out of him. Just expect him just to be like.
Listen, I'm gonna put it this way, right? They stupid. For example, if I'm Al Heyman, right? Alicia Baumgartner is fucking gorgeous, right? But she can actually fucking fight. Like, she could fight her ass off. You telling me that you can't find a slot for her, but I gotta watch Towering Inferno versus Okada, or whatever the fuck his name. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see that shit. I would rather watch her fight. You could deck out each card with 2 female fighters that you build up, and you attach those 2 female fighters to a particular fighter in the main event so that it's a package deal. And as that fighter's marquee value grows, so does theirs. What's the problem? These dudes don't got no imagination. Like, they stupid.
At all. Like, it's so bro. For me, from a fan, like, I see it as so simple. Like, look at Ronda Rousey. Yep. All she was look. For now, don't get me wrong. She was dominating at that certain particular point in time. But what was she doing around that time when people was really talking about Ronda Rousey? First things first, she brought up how she can beat Floyd Mayweather and kick his butt. Then she mentioned the fact that how she used to beat up her boyfriend if he ever cheats on him. Like, a lot of people got mad, but that's what brought her name up. Then she got on those talk shows like Conan and Jimmy Kimmel, and they kept asking the same question: does sex before a fight really hinders your success? Like, they kept asking the same question. She's a girl; they're going to ask her that question. So. And then it was a point of Matt that she was in movies too. She was in Entourage. You remember they remade Entourage and
yeah, I remember
the movie. Like they put her out there. Like, why can't you do that?
But you know what the funniest shit is? It's like that's the tour. You know, that they having you move around and do things on shows that's outside of boxing. Whereas what I'm saying is a lot more simple and it's a lot more feasible because repetition sinks in. But when you don't even want to bother, it's like, yo, all of that works. And I got other ideas that will work, which I'm going to release in 2021. But the main thing is you got to get them out there. And yes, they are entertaining. Like, yeah, they're going to give you a good fight. Trust me, they're going to give you a good fight. But Al is a weirdo who doesn't like ring girls. So, I mean, like, I don't know what the hell his problem is. PBC ain't never had ring girls. What is your problem? What the hell is your problem?
Yeah, it wasn't no head turners. Ring IQ.
Bro, pay attention, bro. He don't have ring girls, bro. No. He never did. I'm like, why you ain't got no ring girls, bro? The
fuck? he might as well. Nah, I almost said something that too disrespectful. But he
probably sees that as old school. That he's like, because like he's kind of like the new kid on the block. Like, he doesn't really see that as you know, as feasible. But like it's still pleasing on the eyes of the consumer.
Even old school, didn't they have good ring girls?
It could be that he's cutting corners because you know you got to pay those girls, and he's trying to manage the budget. Like, we don't need a girl that hold up hard to tell us what rant. That's probably why he's doing it, but that's why it's like, yo, your shit like presentation, bro.
You better go to Dante's Boxing Nation. As can you borrow one of his girls?
Exactly. Yeah.
Ring girls than Al Heyman. He got more ring girls than Al Heyman. Like, bro, do you like?
Just take one of them to be like, hey man, I'll pay you by the day, and all you got to do is just show up for this fight, and you straight.
That's real shit. Like I ain't trying to say nothing, but I'm like, yo, look. At the end of the day, just back to the subject, right? The main thing is there's a lot of American talent. It's some that was already there. It's some that's coming through the amateurs, but without a serious push from a top rank or PBC. And I mentioned PBC in particular because, like I told Heather yesterday, they put on fights on 2 different platforms, on 2 different channels, and they ain't got one motherfucking girl. That's the fucking problem, yo. That's the problem. Like Eddie gonna do what's right for him and his girls. That's what he gonna do the same way that any promoter would. But the guys over here, until they get involved, like really, really involved, yo, it's gonna be that way, man. It's gonna be that way.
What they would be doing me a they would be I'm sorry, I can't even talk right now. But like, yeah, they would be doing so many favors for them chicks if they actually had these had these fights on both different platforms. Because
they would be doing a favor to themselves, but they like I said, they're idiots and they don't have no because like I could tell Eddie Hearn must see the same shit that I see. They're like, yo, this shit is a motherfucking gold mine. I mean, yeah, it's entertaining. I'm a boxing fan. I love them as boxers, but also me just being me, I see the potential for that to be a gold mine. If you do it right, that shit could be epic. These old heads, they just like, especially Al Heyman, who I think personally, he's a fucking hack, bro. Like Floyd got himself to where he got to. You get credit for some shit that you can't even like. Really, if it's so easy, if Al is the fucking genius and all of that shit, where's the next Floyd, bro? Because I don't see him yet. Have you? I ain't seen the next Floyd yet. Have you?
No,
yeah,
he hasn't built a pay-per-view star. Properly.
Yeah, Floyd did a lot of managing for himself. Like, yeah, he knew what corners to take and what to actually do. I don't think it was Al Heyman that got him on Dancing with the Stars. And
I don't think it was that. Like, and I've been saying that shit for the last 2. Like, I didn't really realize it until the last 2 years that I was like, yo, why the fuck everybody is kissing Al Heyman ass for Floyd when you know what got Floyd the way he got to? His work ethic. It was him. That he's a gym rat. He knows his craft. Yeah, he loved money, but he loved his money enough that
he knows how to promote. That's a big one.
Yeah, and he know how to promote. I'm like, yo, really? Like, why are we looking at it like, oh, it was Al's? It wasn't Al's genius. It was Floyd. It was Floyd. And without Floyd being as successful as he was, Al wouldn't even have that reputation. So stop thanking Al Heyman for what fucking Floyd Mayweather did for himself. Because for all this, thank you, Al Heyman shit, bro. Which one of these cats is Floyd? I know it ain't Keith Thurman. I know it ain't him.
It's Tank Davis. Get it right, Ring IQ. Tank Davis is the new Floyd.
I'm about to get off this nasty joint because I'm fucking tired. And old gentleman, always a pleasure. Subscribe to
Always appreciate it, bro.
I gotta ask you one question before you go, Ring IQ.
Oh, bro.
How bad does Errol Spence beat Danny Garcia come this weekend?
Honestly, I don't think it's gonna be. I think he's gonna outbox him.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I think he might. I don't see them. Like, I really just don't see them getting into exchange because Errol not dumb. Like, why would you get into exchanges and trade with this guy? And Danny's not a volume puncher, bro. He ain't ever been that. So it'll be crazy. It'll be crazy. Like, what is Danny just gonna suddenly be a new fighter? Because he never been a volume puncher. Never. He catch you with some stupid shit between the punches, but he not a volume guy. He don't just go out there and throw. Nah. So to me, I feel like, yo, the determining factor is probably gonna be Errol's jab. That I'm a jab, take a half step back, maintain that distance, maintain that pocket, hit you with some bullshit when you get antsy. But it's Danny always had slow feet. Is that gonna change now?
No. This is how I'm gonna put it. Like, you might as well replace Danielson with Mikey because that's the way the fight's gonna turn out.
Yeah, that's the exactly like that's the fair assessment. They're like, look, Danny's a tough kid. He takes a good punch. I don't really think Errol's gonna knock him out if I'm being honest, because he takes a good punch.
Me neither.
He takes a good punch, but Danny don't have fast hands. Danny's not a volume puncher. Danny's the kind of cat that, like, yo, he has to catch you in the exchange to hit you because he can punch, but it has to be between your punches. That's how it be going down. He'll catch you between your punches. If Errol keeps it long and stays behind straight shots, bro, then he not going to get off a shot. He not. So it's like, and the hypothetical that everybody's relying on is, oh, well, what happens if Errol get hit? Well, we don't know, bro. That's what that's why you watch the fight. I don't know what's going to happen if he catch a clean one. I honestly don't. I don't know what condition he's in.
I think he'll be fine. He's taking
whole
punches
veneers
before.
Fly out his mouth, battle. What if his whole veneers fly out his mouth in the middle of the fight? That's fucking gross.
but I think I mean it's always going to be people to swing the accident anyway. It's going to be people be like, oh, Errol Spence is. I get the feeling people are going to be like, Errol Spence was not the favorite because he got in a car accident. It's going to be some people swinging that angle. But the thing of the matter.
Go ahead, finish. No, go ahead. I mean, ask a question.
I think the thing is, when it comes to Danny, like I wasn't on that train that Danny just is a hard puncher. He just really catch you slipping, and that's how he can knock you out. So the thing of the matter is, I think he's going to catch him slipping. Nobody's a perfect fighter.
You think just that it's some dumb shit.
Yeah, a couple of times, but it's not going to be enough. It's going to be a shot that Danny has to throw a punch. Ooh, that looks good. So let me cover up. He's not going to follow up. Danny's not a really good finisher as like he's going to catch you one time and then once you're on the canvas, it's all down here from there. He's not going to turn it up like an AJ. So I think he's going to throw a punch and then look at it and be like, oh, that's a good shot, and that's going to be it. It's the follow up that's a problem.
I mean, I like this is what I see. Errol has always had a talent for maintaining the pocket. Like he always had that's one thing I give him, except for the Sean Porter fight. That's the only time I've seen that he couldn't maintain it. But he always keeps the right amount of space between himself and the other guy. And if he just stays, all he has to do with Danny is stay behind your jab. Just stay behind your jab. That's it to figure him out, because Danny ain't all that. Oh, I'm gonna walk him. Yeah, fucking right. You're gonna walk him down there. Give me a break, Danny. Cut it out, bro.
He's gonna walk into traps, man.
Yeah, like come on, like you fucking Ivan Redcat went 12 rounds with you, bro. Enough, bro. Come on, like they letting you live. I'm not. I don't care. That dude went 12 rounds with you. He couldn't fucking go 5 rounds with Molina, but he went 12 with you. So cut it out, bro.
And it's been numerous times that fighters expose Danny for not really being a good inside fighter, like Mauricio Herrera, like Sean Porter, or even Lamont Peterson in some cases. Like it's not. You're not really a good inside fighter, bro. So once that's taken care of, it's all down here from there.
But he's not a good outside fighter either. That's the other thing. No, and I'm
not. Well, that's his strong suit. And when we talk about Danny Garcia, is more outside fighting.
Danny's strong suit is mid range when he got to bend his arm to throw the punch, but he not right up on you. That's his sweet spot. On the outside, if you keep like, bro, I'll put it like this: if it was a couple of years ago, I would pick Kell Brook to embarrass Danny Garcia, like to embarrass him behind straight punches and movement. And Brook is an orthodox fighter. And Errol, you talking about a southpaw. So Danny, if you even try to go in there showing that jab to try to jab your way in, yo, this cat, his shit is going to come over the top of your shit, and you going to end up looking real fucking goofy out here. So it's like the only saving grace that Danny has is if Errol is like fucked up. That's the saving grace. Because outside of that, he could beat you comfortable. And remember, like I said, I asked this question, I'm going to ask y'all. If it wasn't for the car accident, how confident would you be right now that, Errol going to win that fight, bro? That ain't shit. That ain't shit. It's the car accident that got all of us scratching our heads. That's it. It's just the car accident. It's not Danny. Yeah. You been in there with Sean. You lost. You was in there with Thurman. You lost. All right? We already seen that you got gifted with Herrera. All this shit is fresh in my mind. Like, bro, you got gifted with Herrera. Some people, I'm on the fence, but some people think Lamont beat you. What I know is Sean beat you. He did, because he outworked you, because of the same shit from always. You don't throw enough. In a Thurman fight, that's why people was complaining on Sunday morning. Yo, like, we had all this buildup. We thought this was going to be like a shootout. That shit was boring. Like, fucking type boring. Like,
That shit was no Wilfredo Benitez or the Sugar Ray Leonard. No,
It wasn't, man. So it's like,
far
bro,
cry.
like, and that's this, and this is the same Danny Garcia from always. They've been spoon feeding him applesauce the whole goddamn time. Samuel Vargas shot Brandon Rios that got stopped by a body shot against Tim Bradley. Remember that when Tim was
yeah, I remember that.
I'm like, yo,
Yeah, that's when he had Teddy Atlas.
And then where does Brandon end up for a hot second on the PBC side of things against who? Danny Garcia. Like, bro, he don't have. I don't like forget Crawford because I don't say it because of that. I say it because it's the truth. Danny has not beat nobody solid at 147, and he been there for 6 years. So it's like, come on, dog. The only way Danny win this fight is if Errol is fucked up. Because I don't even know that Danny will beat Mean Machine, and I'm not joking. Like, I really don't know, bro. I probably would ride the fence that fight because I don't have a lot of faith in Danny. Unless Danny in there with some little guys that moved up, nah, bro. I don't know what's gonna happen. Fuck around, lose.
I would favor him against Mean Machine. And honestly, I think he could be like an Ortiz too. Despite what you think.
I mean, I get Ortiz, bro. What's beating Ortiz worth right now, though? Like, huh?
You know, in a sense, he's still viable enough for.
How do you feel about him versus Ugas?
Ugas, I think he beats Ugas.
You think he could be? I'm not convinced. Ugas is
I think he can be Ugas. Stylistically, it's just a different matchup for Ugas. I acknowledging the Sean Porter fight where Sean Porter struggled. I get that, but I think it's stylistically a different fight for Ugas. That's I don't think Ugas the type of fighter to lead as effective as Danny Garcia. If you know what I mean. I don't think he's the type of fighter to lead. I think he has to work off reactions off the persons he's going against. And if he's going to lead against Danny Garcia, he's going to come up short.
I'm just saying, bro, that once again, I'm not saying that like, oh, I'm just trying to shit on the fighter. I'm talking like a gambler or like somebody that's just like, all right, if I had to put money, I'm like, all right, well, what has Danny shown me the last 6 years in the welterweight division? And when I think about it, I'm like, yo, the only cats that you beat was either cats that were shot like Robert Guerrero and Brandon Rios, or little guys like Adrian Granados and Ivan Redcatch, or unheralded tough guy. Samuel Vargas is a tough guy. He deserves respect, but he was an unheralded cat. Like he ain't had no elite level wins at that weight.
I mean, he did manage to surprise me on that Granados win because I actually thought Granados was going to give him a tough fight. Granados, you probably say
he tough, but you know what? Watch Granados versus Diaz. That was at 140. Diaz was mollywopping Granados. Fucking right. So it's like yo, you was getting your ass beat by Diaz at 40. So Danny, even if he beat the shit out of you, it just don't mean that much. Like, because Granados is not a real welterweight. What real welterweights did you beat? And when I think of like none, and you've been there for 6 years, hey, come on now. It's on the wall. Only way Danny wins.
It's been 6 years already.
It's been 6 years, bro. They talk about, and I say it all the time, they talk about, oh, Crawford's still living off the shit he did at 140. Then why the fuck y'all still talking about the Conor Matisse fight? Y'all still, you know that was over 6 years ago, right?
Yeah, those ones don't age well because like these guys have been being afterwards. Look, this guy has fallen short time and time again in the big fights, against Thurman, against Sean Porter, and he's gonna have to, to me, he's gonna have to really earn that victory. He's gonna have to fight like hell, man. I don't know how, but do it however you can, man. Just fight like hell, man. Make it a tough fight for him.
I disagree, Veli, but we're gonna have to talk about this one another time, though.
I'm gonna say this. All I'm saying is it's boxing, and you guys know that anything is possible because it's boxing. But essentially, the possibility would have to be that Danny finally decided to hit the goddamn gas. That would have to be it. That like, yo, finally you hit a second gear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Because Trushko was talking about this. How Danny just fights in like one gear, like just one pace, not
And there's nothing.
Yeah, and he was losing the Guerrero fight.
before he's decided to turn it up. Maybe he can turn that up in this fight, but I don't see it.
Now, Battle, I'm gonna ask you something. What do you think about a fighter that has to turn up to beat Robert Guerrero?
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. Like, it's just that Danny Garcia, he tends to take rounds off. Sorry, he tends to take rounds off, and that's what be clipping him. Like, we on the same page because it seems like everybody else seems to think that. Not everybody else, at least the people I've been talking to lately, have been thinking that Danny Garcia has been having close fights with Keith Thurman and Sean Porter, and I didn't see it that way. I thought he lost clearly in both of those fights.
Dude, we've had,
bro, they only saying that shit because the pay-per-view is on Saturday. That's the only reason they saying that shit, because the truth of it is Thurman beat him decisively. That wasn't a hard fight to score. The Porter fight, I kept saying the same shit. Porter is busier. Even if he's not landing, Danny is not throwing. So it looked like Porter's doing everything. And the judges is going to take that. All right? And those is the two toughest motherfuckers you fought at this weight in 6 years. Now think about that. In 6 years, you only really fought two upper echelon fighters. Just two in 6 years. The writing's on the wall.
Clear cut win for Errol Spence, the UD. I guess we all on the same page. Unless Virtuoso has like a knockout or something.
That's the conservative prediction. The conservative one with no bells and whistles is Spence on points. Danny has the chin. I give him that. And I don't think that Errol going to go for the gusto after over a year inactivity, right? Off the car accident? Nah, unless he's a complete moron. Like, you would, like, what are you, an idiot, dog? You going to get into a gunfight with this guy? Like, what are you, an idiot? Like, and I don't think he's an idiot. I don't think that. So the conservative way to go is Spence on points.
Yeah, man. We need to have like a post fight. Like once you come back, probably the next day have a post. D Style put like a post fight of Crawford versus Brooke before the fight even happened. I was like, yeah, we need to do that. Like, what's next for Errol Spence on Friday?
I can tell a post-fight recap of a fight he ain't see.
Yo, since he wants that Canelo fight, he might as well be like up by four rounds, starting.
Yo, that's
the bell rings.
That is the most disrespectful shit I heard all month. How you gonna do a recap on a fight?
That's what D Style did. He said,
I love D, man.
D Styles, he's like, because I remember the day he put it out, I was like, wait a minute, did I miss the fight? I was like, no way. he came on, he was like, guys, listen, I know what you're saying. The fight hasn't happened yet, but I got time on my hands. So I just figured I'd just get it out of the way. Yeah, I was laughing so hard.
Oh, shit, that's fucking.
Oh my god.
I mean, he wasn't wrong, no. I mean, he wasn't wrong. So shit. Look, like I said, all right, to be fair, right? It's not a bad fight, and I've been saying that because I don't want nobody thinking I'm that boxing fan that don't like nothing. Nah, it's not a bad fight, actually, and it makes sense that, yeah, Errol should fight him right now. I just don't think it should be a pay-per-view. That's what I think. They're like, yo, they should have gave that one away on Fox, get some big viewership. I don't think that you should charge people for that undercard and this fight. Nah, y'all bugging out. That should have been on Fox.
Ain't got no hardware.
We've had 2 pay-per-views in a matter of like 2 to 3 weeks, so maybe momentum will be on his side. Maybe it could be $500K.
You think so?
Because wasn't him versus Mike Garcia like 500?
Nah, him versus Mikey was, what was it? They said 360. Yeah, the number was 360. That's the number that yeah. Because I just looked it up for the video I just did. It was like.
So how much did he make for Ocampo?
What you mean, money wise?
I mean, not money. How many views he did for Ocampo?
Ocampo wasn't a pay-per-view.
That was a Showtime.
Yeah, that was a regular old ass fight. That was a regular fight. Yeah. That wasn't a pay-per-view. With Danny, I mean, I just look like on one end you say that Danny might get the Spanish fans to buy the fight, but when the Spanish fans really ever fuck with Mike? I mean, with Danny, Like, be
It's
real.
it's the Philly fans.
But I dig that. But all right, all right. Look at his numbers. Look at the numbers that he had. I know that. I think he had one fight on Fox. Was the Red Cat fight on Fox, or was that on Showtime? Because
I think that was a Showtime.
if it
I'm
was
not
on
sure.
Showtime, then the numbers wasn't encouraging if it was on Showtime. You know it. So it's like, bro, like really, like what's the game plan here? You hoping that the Porter Rocks come out to support Danny? That shit ain't been going on since he fucked up on the island. So I mean, really, like I don't know what it's gonna do. Maybe if they're lucky, 250, maybe. I don't know.
Again, this is putting the cart before the horse, man. I mean, no proper build up, to for this intrigue. I don't see it that much, man. And Danny does not have any fucking hardware. It's not a unification fight. This is a Fox fight.
It ain't. It's to me. That's what, and I think that would have been the best thing for PBC to do because it's like, yo, if nothing else, you could get some monster. Because if it was on Fox, they'll get 3 million views for this fight. They would if it was on regular Fox. But nah, y'all want to be greedy. So it's like, bro, I'm not buying. One, I'm working that night. So any chance that I had of buying it, well, now I'm not gonna buy it. Fuck that. I'm gonna be at work, bro.
Also, another thing, I think if this fight was, I don't know if this fight is sit down or not. It might just be streamed. But if they actually like open up the arena, like where people could come in, it might do a little bit more because celebrities are going to be talking about
they
it.
They living in 2016, bro. When Danny fought Thurman, they're like, "Oh, we got such great view." Yeah, but people were complaining the next day, like, "Why are you not talking about that?" Not you, you know what I mean? But like when people talk about like Danny's fights, like remember after the Thurman fight, people were complaining, bro. They was complaining after the Herrera fight. People was complaining, like, bro, I don't know what planet they on where like Danny Garcia is this guy. Like, is he the guy somewhere else in the country? Cause I don't know. Like, I don't be high off his fights.
It might not be that they're just trying to hire. They're just trying to big up Spence and to the point where he's completely A side against Crawford and he's the top creme de la creme of the division.
I guess I'm like, yo, look, the Triller fight, right? And this is in keeping with what somebody else told me, right? The Mike Tyson versus Jones Jr. exhibition match, and I'm not exaggerating, all fucking month before that fight. Yo, you gonna watch that fight? Yo, I know you watch boxing. Yo, you gonna watch that fight? Yo, I know you watch boxing.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, that's what.
Oh, you too, right? They're like all month. Like, you gonna watch that fight? Who you think gonna win that fight?
Yeah, my mom called and she was like, how much is the fight? I'm like, what fight? She's like, the rush. Oh yeah, like I haven't forgot about it. I was like, I like honestly, I don't know. And then like she was talking with her aunt, and she bought it. Her daughters bought it, and everybody was tuning in. That thing did like 1.3 million pay-per-view buys. Like,
shit, but it was the buzz. I noticed that, like, yo, this fight really has people talking. Like, they talking about it like how we used to talk about Tyson fights. Like, they talking about it like, oh, you gonna watch the fight? Hell, motherfucking yeah, I'm gonna watch the fight. You gonna fuck? Like, that's the talk. That was the talk. This Danny shit, motherfuckers is like,
I think this is the only time in a while I've actually seen people in my social life that were talking about a fight. I think the last time was the Wild and the Fury. That was the only time. But other than that,
I got asked a couple of times about Wild, like on the street, not the fucking boxing groups. But and it's like, yeah, so you think gonna win that fight? You're saying to us, you watch boxing and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they say the same thing.
You know what I'm saying? This Danny shit. Ain't nobody worried, man. Listen, man, ain't nobody like, and I'm once again, I'm really not trying to be negative, but I'm being serious. Like, ain't nobody asking me about that shit. It's back to basics. Like, yeah, man. Yeah. And when I ask boxing heads like us, right, what we say? I don't know, son. Yeah, I don't know. We all on the same page. Like, you ain't getting $80. You ain't getting my money with that shit. And I got $80 to blow. Not for you. Fuck you. This shit belong on Fox. Period. Weak ass undercard. You could have given me
80 fat ones.
Give me Angelo Leo versus Luis Neri at least, or at least Why didn't they reschedule Leo versus Fulton? That like they said they was gonna reschedule that shit. I would have took that. Like that's a good fight. Yeah, I'll take that fight. That's a good fight. Nah,
Even then, that wouldn't be worth $80. You have to give me freaking a Luis Ortiz or something on the undercard, or give me like a freaking I don't care as much as this crazy as this fight sound right now. They give me like an Adam Kalnacki in the freaking what's the name rematch. What's old boy name?
Listen,
the
man,
boy who lost to.
I'm not paying for no goddamn
Listen,
bro.
Yo, is Sergey Lippin? I want to ask a question. Sergey Lippin, that's a welterweight.
Yeah,
he is. I mean, he is now. He been there a few fights.
Look, I've been thinking, like, you know what? Lippin has to fight Danny on as a co-main, and just Crawford should just jump in there and like, yo, fuck all this shit. Let's fight right now.
Yeah, Crawford has entered the chat. He runs ringside with a chair. He hits Danny with the chair. Takes his
He's coming in the AT&T Cowboy Stadium like Shawn Michaels in WrestleMania on a zip line and said, "Yo, you ready?"
Yo, real shit. Like, cause I'm like, yo, dog. Like, how I'm supposed to? I know what Danny Garcia fights look like. What do you think? I'm high. I've been watching him, bro. Not thinking, bro. Like, no, fuck out of here. True though.
Like, I'll never forget how excited I was one time. I went to my aunt's house and I'm looking for the remote. Like I'm bugging everybody for the remote. I'm like, Danny Garcia fight tonight. He fought Paulie Malignaggi. I'm fight is bad. Like,
if you tell people, right? Imagine if you would have told all your people, like you told your mother, your aunt, your sister, yo, Danny Garcia fight tonight. Like, who that? It's Puerto Rican boxer, man. It's cat exciting. Turn on that Red Cat fight. Motherfuckers is just sitting there waiting for that shit to be like, what? What you was excited about? Nah, B, this dude sucks. Like, and I ain't knocking him, but to the casual observer, you know what I mean? To me, it's like, bro, why is Ivan Redkach still here, yo? Like, it's fucking 8 rounds, 10 rounds. Like, are you serious? Nah, man, come on, dog. You ain't getting my money, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. We gonna find out this weekend.
Yo, you know what? And I'm not kidding. Y'all gonna think I'm saying this to be an asshole. I would pay for Errol Spence versus Mean Machine before I would pay for just because of who did it better. Just for that, I would literally pay for that more than I would pay for Danny. Come on, dog. Like, the fuck are you trying to kid? Like, the fuck out of here, man. Like, get the fuck out of here. Fuck.
I would pay for a Chocolatito rematch between Estrada.
I would actually pay for that. Yeah, I would actually, because I know they won't disappoint me. Those two fucking guys never disappoint me. There's never a dull moment with those two guys, man. So underrated, man. So underappreciated. And it's never a dull moment with those two fucking guys. It's not like somebody, if they don't lay somebody out, somebody gonna get laid out. Like, it's never a dull moment. But Danny, oh fuck, no, fuck that. Fuck that. Shit. Anyway, let me get this Danny Garcia talk making me sleepy. Let me get the fuck.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
All right.